Welcome to Women Talk. I'm Joyce. It's been said that women talk about everything and anything, anywhere. Two women walking their dogs meet up on a dog trail at a dog park. They strike up a conversation on the difficulties of caring for their dogs during COVID. By the time they finished the trail, both knew how old the dogs were, all of the dogs' behaviors, how long they had the dogs, how long they were coming to this particular dog park, how their companions, their husbands, or intimate other felt about the dogs, as well as their personal relationships. Welcome to Women Talk. This show brings together women of various cultures and backgrounds. Today is an opportunity for the women of Piscataway to share their stories with each other. Today's guests are Rose, Marilyn, and Lois. But before I introduce today's topic, let's meet our guests. Rose.
Hi. I've been in Piscataway for around 30 years. I migrated from the Philippines around the same time with my whole family. Of course, now that we're older, we live alone together. That's about it.
Marilyn.
I've been living in Piscataway since '85, and in my current residence since '86. And I really love the town of Piscataway. And I want to be able to stay here, but I might have to move to Edison briefly. But I'm hoping that I can find another place in Piscataway. I enjoy the Piscataway Senior Center, and I want to be able to continue with the center.
Okay. Lois.
Yes, my name is Lois, and I've lived in Piscataway for over 40 years. I have enjoyed living here and the communities and the things that are offered in Piscataway. I don't know that I would really move anywhere else at this stage of my life, but it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, ladies, thank you. Today's topic, holidays and traditions. Holidays and tradition are generally wrapped in some form of activities for most of us. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines a holiday as a day set aside by custom or law on which normal activities like business, work, school are suspended or reduced. They define traditions as a belief or behavior passed down with symbolic meaning or special significance. We recently concluded Veterans Day, a holiday to celebrate and honor America's veterans for their patriotism and willingness to serve and sacrifice. And then the tradition, Halloween, a time of trick-or-treat. So ladies, holidays and tradition. I'm gonna just ask one of you to jump in. What's your favorite?
I guess Christmas. It brings out the children in you, the child in you, from remembering the past. I was born and raised in the Philippines, and in my country, Christmas starts in September. We don't have Veterans Day, we don't have Thanksgiving. So once the BER months come in, Christmas song starts. Christmas decorations are in the mall, on the streets, in the lamppost, Yes. So it starts early. I think we have the longest ever Christmas time.
I was just going to stay from September
until the second week of January, because we wait for the Three Kings holiday. The Philippines is more or less, we're like 90%, or no, maybe not that much, about 75% Catholics. So most of our customs and traditions are deeply rooted on religious beliefs and holidays.
Okay, Marilyn, what's your favorite, a holiday or a tradition? Anything stand out?
Well, my favorite holiday was Thanksgiving, because that's when the family got together and it wasn't wrapped up in getting presents and, but with that said, Christmas was fun, and we had a tradition where my two brothers and their wives and their children all went to my brother's house in West Orange, where I grew up. And we would be there Christmas Eve, and when the kids went to sleep, we would wrap the presents and then put it under the tree, and then we had stocking gifts, and the kids could wake up without the parents and open up the stocking gifts. And then when everybody was up, we would have Christmas breakfast, and then we would go open up the gifts. It was just a special time that we had a time together with the family, and we were all in one place. We weren't separated.
That's nice.
Yeah, I really.
From Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. That's
Yes.
really nice. That's different. Lois.
In our family, it's really traditions because it encompassed all the holidays, all the birthdays, all the baby celebrations, everything that went on in the family. Because my grandmother, who was the matriarch of our family, she was the one who believed that as a group, as a family, we should fellowship and break bread together to enjoy each other and celebrate with each other. So Thanksgiving was at my mom's house.
Okay.
Christmas was at my auntie's house, my Aunt Lois, who I'm named after. Easter was at my house, and that's a whole nother story, so we won't get into that. Kwanzaa was at my cousin's house. All the birthdays and other festivities were at the individual ones who were celebrating. So we just enjoyed each other's company, and we would get together, and then the family grew and grew and grew. So there are a lot of us now, down now to little bitty babies, and all our ancestors have passed on. But what they left us were the traditions that we have carried forward from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. So all of the holidays are our favorite holidays. So I can't pick just one.
I think I'm the same. I can't pick just one because I think we're similar somewhat, because my mother and father is where all the holiday traditions took place. Every single holiday, every family member was at their house, okay? However, as we all got older and got married and had children, it became a little sticky. Because your children say, I don't want to go out, I want to stay home and play with my stuff. I don't want to go there, okay? So my mother and father had the task now of going to our homes.
Oh, okay.
So Christmas Day, I would really feel sorry for them because I wouldn't have done it, okay? My mother and father would get up, and I guess they had their own breakfast, and then they would go to all of our homes. We lived in all different boroughs.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Wow. So they would have to start from, they lived in the Bronx, and they would start from the Bronx. They would go into Manhattan. Wow. They would go into another area of the Bronx. And I was the last on the list because I was in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So they would make their round to their children's house, and they had to eat there. Tradition, you're not leaving unless you have something to eat, right? So they would have to eat there, and then they would hang out with their grandkids, and then they would have to go on to the next house. Okay.
Well, that's how the tradition of going to my brother's house started, because my sister-in-law, when she had her first child, did not want to leave the house.
See?
Well, the rest of us were okay with that, so we all went there. And that's just how it started.
That's work for you, right?
Yeah, it worked for us.
So what about the family or the families that weren't living close? How did y'all do that? How did you celebrate?
Like me, because I'm so
Yeah.
far away from my family. Well, we had to start our own tradition. Well, it's not we just have to relive traditions we have learned from them. Like Easter. I know egg hunting is famous here, popular here. It's also in the Philippines, but we have a little twist on it. My mom, I don't know if she got it from my grandmother, but my mom she has a really big pirate piggy bank that you can break. She would put quarters in it the whole year round, and that's the money she would put on Easter eggs. But she has special eggs with little papers in it. So whoever picked that egg, they have questions based on religious information. Like if you're young and you're just maybe grade 1, recite the Lord's Prayer. Or if you're a little older, who are the 12 apostles? You know, based on religion. Because that's what Easter is for. It's really the resurrection of the Christ, right? Now, November 1st, we honor our dead, and we have saints that we... So it starts early in the morning. We bring food to the cemetery. We are allowed to bring food there. But over here, we just visit, bring flowers, and we pray, and that's it. But we stay there the whole day.
Really?
And yes, we bring food. Family comes together in the cemetery.
In the cemetery?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, with music. Allowed, yes. So it's like a joyous celebration.
Yeah.
And as I said, Christmas. When I was a little girl, my great-grandmother was still alive. So we would all gather to her house, which is good for the young children because she would ask the children to line up by age. She would open a big envelope and give money out according to age. So yeah, back in those days, $5 is good, right? Now you can't give children $5.
We were happy for 50 cents.
We didn't get money. We got food.
Oh, there's food, believe me. We love to eat. But, you know, then when I got here, of course, I left my family behind. So I was the only one here. So I still did the Easter egg hunting with the same thing. We go to the cemetery for my in-laws because my family is not here. My dead family is not here.
You take food?
No. I don't think that's allowed in the cemetery.
I think it is. I saw
Is it?
someone right here at the cemetery.
Bring food? And
They
wine?
laid out a blanket,
Interesting.
and I saw them pull out a picnic basket.
Really? I bet you they're Filipinos.
I don't know who they were. I remembered I was shocked when I saw it. But the person was by themselves. And they had this basket, and they had a blanket, and I literally took my car in there.
And join them?
No, I didn't.
Just to see
I
up
just
close.
wanted to see.
Curiosity.
Okay, and I stayed a distance away, and the person apparently was talking to whoever had been deceased, and they had food laid out on the blanket. So it's another way for folks to, I guess, deal with issues
Right.
Yes,
and
yes,
loss
their grieving
and loneliness.
process,
Yep,
yeah.
and still celebrate.
Well, one of the
Lois, any way
things,
you
one of the
celebrate?
things in my family, there were certain things or food items that were required at a meal, or the holidays. One Christmas, we were busy making a meal, had everything ready, we got it all set out. And my grandmother, she's very regal. She sits, where are the mashed potatoes? Well, Granny, we didn't make mashed potatoes. We have all the other stuff. May I tell you, we had to wait until they peeled those potatoes and boiled them and made mashed potatoes before we could eat. We couldn't eat. It was not. We didn't know that ahead of time, else we would have, of course, had the mashed potatoes. One Thanksgiving, at my mother's house, I go over early, help her set up. Everything's the food's all ready. We're ready, hungry. Your stomach is so. I said, okay, Mom, we're ready. We can't eat yet. I said, no. Everything's ready. Everything's out. The people are here. my grandson's not here.
Oh.
That would be my son. I couldn't believe it. I said, Mom, she said, my grandson's not here. We can't eat yet. He was on his way, but he wasn't there yet. So I called him, and he didn't answer the phone, of course, and because he was on his way. He gets there about 5 minutes later. He walks in. I opened the door because I knew who it was. I said, Anthony, your grandmother would not let us eat because you were not here. He goes, oh, Ma. I said, honest. So she walks out of the kitchen into the hall, and she goes, oh, my grandson is here. We can eat now. I said, I told you she wouldn't let us eat. So, you know, certain things are necessary, to say the least, right? And, you know, you get special things from each home. And my mother on Thanksgiving would make hog maws. That was the only time of the year. I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but that we would have hog maws, and we would wait.
For Thanksgiving?
Once a year, Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I have one cousin who used to eat a lot of things growing up. She got older, and she, you know how now a lot of people don't eat a lot of things. And she's really not into meat. And definitely not into pork. But guess what? On Thanksgiving,
She ate that.
she would eat the hog maw once a year. And so, but it's just a joy. And my grandmother would sit there and just watch all of us. And you could see the expression on her face. She was so proud of all of her grandchildren and children. And as the family kept growing, she would just sit and watch and tell us, y'all are so loud. And we would say, Granny, but we're your offspring. But it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to have a family and be in touch with each other and be around each other and be able to enjoy each other.
Yes.
So, and that's what we did, because that's how she taught us.
Okay. Marilyn, anything special?
Well, I'm of Italian-American background.
Okay.
And every holiday, even Thanksgiving, had to have a dish that was pasta, whether it was lasagna or ravioli,
Okay.
but it had to have, I don't care how much food you had to have
A pasta dish.
a pasta dish, had to. That was required by, well, even after my parents died, then it was required by my brother. He carried it on. We had
Yes.
to.
Okay.
That's, and you mentioned anybody who lived far?
Yeah.
The center was West Orange. So they traveled to West Orange. I mean, in California and Atlanta, not in another country, but they are the ones
Look at
that
they
travel.
travel. Yeah. Especially the younger ones now.
Yeah.
They'll drive up and fly in.
Yeah, they will.
Because
will.
my generation, we were all still in New Jersey for the most. Yeah, all of us were in New Jersey. We just had a couple in Syracuse. But so we were local.
Okay.
So we would just go from the house to the house, you know, to each other's homes. But my son's generation, the next generation now, they'll fly in and drive in like it's nothing.
No, but my brother
And
flew in from Atlanta. Because
Okay.
he was in Atlanta, and now he's in Connecticut. And we have had Thanksgiving meals at his house in Connecticut.
Okay.
But West Orange basically has been the central
It's the central.
place for all the holidays.
My house is now the central place. My daughter's house, when she was here, it was her house also, but my house is the central place for just about all of the holidays. And our family is spread across the states. So when I was younger, it was much more difficult. But my father, his folks were all in the South. We had to stop, and he made the phone call. So right before you sat down to have dinner, he made the phone call to talk to family in the South, and we would all get to say, hi, how are you? What are you having for dinner? What you doing? So no matter where they were, he would do that call. Today, I carry the tradition of keeping in touch, because now you have Zoom.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And so as soon as Zoom came out a couple of years ago, that was a wonderful way to, I could get hold of my sister and those in North Carolina, and we would share table spreads. Okay,
Yes.
table spreads,
Yes,
and
yes.
what you got, and how did you set up your table, how did you serve it? And then her family would come around the table and talk. And the same thing with my daughter in Seattle now. You know, we will make sure that Zoom is on or that FaceTime is on. And sometimes it'll stay on even as people are eating, because you can sit,
Right.
you know, now you can sit the thing to the side.
conversation.
Yeah.
And you feel as though everybody's still connected.
And that's what's important.
And you can see everybody, and somebody will pop their head in. And yes, and that was an excellent thing to use during the pandemic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So you
did do
didn't
that.
lose touch with each other.
Yeah, my one of my nieces, great niece, she's in Georgia, and she used to live in New York, and she was having a baby shower, and that's how she had it, by way of
Yes,
Zoom.
I've gone through a baby shower.
Unbelievable.
over Zoom. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had a baby shower on Zoom.
Yes.
I mean, not me, but
Yeah, you attended a
attended
Zoom baby shower.
A Zoom baby
Yeah.
shower, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I attended that, and the other thing that was interesting during COVID was attending parties via Zoom.
My
Yeah.
cousin had such a party. She did. She had a DJ in everything.
Oh, my God.
It was awesome, and everybody, we were all in our houses
Dancing.
And
dancing. She wanted us to dance. We were just dancing. It was wonderful.
I did that with my friends.
Just to know that you can do something
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, she had a blowout party on Zoom. She did.
Right. Christmas. Well, I'm here. So my brother came to the U.S. a few years back. So now his family comes to my house.
Okay.
So yes, I don't have a big house. So you can just imagine the space that we use up. Air beds everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
So
Oh,
it's
yes,
fun,
yeah.
and you know, it's one way of getting together because we don't see them often.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different state, different, yeah.
My
My
whole-
son is in Ohio, so he comes
Oh,
over.
so he comes over.
Yeah, just like she said. These kids, they don't care
They
about.
don't. They don't think
they
about
love
it twice. They make
Not
it
at
their
all.
business to move around and get around.
Yes.
I had a sister, she's no longer with us, but anybody could come to her house. And so she was the type person, as long as you say, I know Joyce, or I know Aunt Sadie, Uncle Jeff, you could have a plate, and then she'd even give you a pillow and a blanket.
How precious.
Traveled far, and or you said, I don't know how I'm gonna get home, and we would go, are you kidding? Who's that? Who's Uncle Jeff? Okay, she would go, oh, you don't know him? I don't even think she knew half the people. But she was very open, and my
Yes,
father
open
was
house.
the same way, always looking to make room for somebody to be able to give them a place to stay, a place to eat, and definitely around holiday time, that was the tradition. Okay, when my daughter lived over she was living here, family would go to her house and they would just stay over for a holiday. You know, they'd go and enjoy themselves in the pool and whatnot, and then they'd stay over. They'd bring the beddings, and she'd find a place for everybody to stay, and then
Right,
they would
right.
have this huge breakfast that you guys are talking about.
That's all you need is air beds.
That's all.
They don't even sleep.
I
They
know,
talk
I
and
know,
talk
all
and
night
talk.
until somebody drops off.
Or somebody says,
Quiet.
Up half the night.
Yes.
And it's true, I had an aunt like that. You can come to her house anytime.
Yeah.
And she'd look in that refrigerator, you'd get something to eat. She'd make a meal. But she always had a cake or a pie or some cookies.
Something in there for
or
you.
something on that dining room table to eat. And we would have tea.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, we'd have tea.
love
We would
that.
eat at desserts. And
It feels so classy.
yes, it does.
It feels so
It
classy.
does.
Yeah.
After each holiday event, the ladies in the family, we would say, "Okay, tea time," and we would sit down and have tea. And that still is very special.
Okay.
'Cause we
Well,
still-
ladies, I can't believe we're out of time already.
Yeah.
And
No,
I have
we can't
Yes,
be.
we are. And I've just had a great time having a discussion and learning about some things that are similar, but definitely about these long holidays. I like that. I really like that, okay? It allows people to get to know each other. So I want to thank you all for coming to Women Talk today. And I want to thank our viewers. And I also want to thank the Piscataway Community TV. I got it right this time because the crew has been great
Yes.
in helping us get all this together. So next year's topic is the new year. And it'll be interesting to hear what people have to say. So should people wish to participate in the topic or even be a participant, they can drop me an email at colesj7@gmail.com. I want to thank everybody, and I want to wish them a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and if I missed anybody, happy holidays. And remember, women talk about everything,
Everything.
anything, and anywhere. Thank you, ladies.